initial thoughts here. There is, where are we? Let me find one of the spots. I guess this is a spot. Kind of weird how wavy that signal is for the MAF. That white line there. And then injector duty corresponds to that. Spark seems to do this kind of stuff no matter what. But I'm not used to seeing such a spiky MAF line. But it doesn't happen there. Nothing there. That's only like 46% throttle though. But then that's another good example right there. Look at how spiky that is there. I'm guessing that's not good. I'm gonna see if there's some way I can clear that up. Here's the maf-fusion app. That's the live data, which car's off, so it's not really getting anything except for just a resting. But I'm gonna try to adjust the filters here. There's no filters at all. This is the maf-fusion live data screen. I have the car idling right now. There's the MAF input 1, input 2, and then the output on the right there. When I give it throttle, you see the main one jump up there. But actually the MAF input 2 is where the idle air control is taking air, so that and whatever vacuum leak is occurring through that throttle blade gives us that like 2000 hertz at idle. So that's that. Once traffic clears up a little bit, I'm going to try to do kind of a pull. Test driving and tuning right now because it won't stop raining. We'll do a little bit of explanation. We'll start with the VTAAAC throttle body. I just put in a maf-fusion. That's it right there. That lets me run 2 MAF sensors, and then that combines the 2 signals into 1 signal for the stock PCM to run. So it doesn't know anything about 2, it just sees 1. And it's fully programmable. You can put whatever MAF curve you want in there, have it output any way you want. You can even do airfield calibration functions in there. Pretty neat thing to have, so that I can have 2 throttle bodies instead of 1. So it's basically running a stock cable throttle. That's what this one is. It's actually a North Star throttle body, a little slightly modified, but principally just right off a North Star. And then this one's off an L32 electronic throttle body, which only opens when I go wide open throttle on the main throttle body, which is what this relay is for. It sends power to the motor, just sends direct DC power right to the motor. I'm not using anything with the original module in there. There's basically like a wide open throttle switch like you'd use for nitrous or something to activate that. And then obviously there's two separate intake ducts, two filters and all that. So all the flow in the world, stock drivability once it's tuned. This right here is the new idle air control circuit. Usually you'd use one that's located right on the throttle body there, but it was much more convenient for me to do it this way, I guess. I mean, apart from having to make custom stuff, but I can do that all day. But this is actually an L67 IAC instead of the Northstar IAC, which means the flow rate of the pintle is what the original PCM expects, whereas that one's a little bit too big if you're using the Northstar. So in a way, this is kind of a improvement to be running this IAC instead of the Northstar one. I think it's a 12 millimeter versus a 14, if I remember right. So every time the PCM tries to make an IAC adjustment, it's a little bit too much, whereas you put the stock one on there and it's right on the money. What else is there to talk about? This here is just I just decided to locate my PCV inlet there. So this is the fresh air point the PCV system draws from, so it's metered air. And technically this will circulate through the crankcase, then back out of the crankcase through a catch can and in through the PCV valve, where it's allowed to go into the engine. It's going to be hard to shoot, but I'm going to try to get a quick shot of the throttle position, throttle switch. Don't know, I can't really see what the camera's looking at right now, but how about that? That's basically where it is. It's mounted right with the throttle body control cover. Hopefully we got a little bit of that, but you know what a wide open throttle switch does, so. Matter of fact, at the moment I have it wired. This jumper wire is just a temporary thing to give it power all the time while I'm testing things, but I can actually I'm just pulling the switch right now as if I'm going wide open throttle, and that noise is the second throttle opening up all the way.